this idea kind of sparked in my brain for today's episode as I was reflecting on this holiday season. And I always have a list, a mental list most of the time. I don't have a physical list, but of the things I want to accomplish during the holiday season. And I don't know if it was because Thanksgiving was a little later than usual. It just seemed like the holidays crept up on us, and it happens every year. And the older I get, I notice it even more, and it becomes more and more and more pronounced. I didn't get all my indoor decorations set up. I didn't get all my outdoor decorations set up. I didn't watch the Christmas movies that I had anticipated and had planned to watch. I guess part of it is making the priority, and part of it is there simply was no time, with 3 kids, a new job. I say new job, 6 months now into this job. Thank you, by the way, for the support on that transition. It just seems like everything gets away from us, or at least for my family, that was the case in 2019. I want to talk about Christmas cards, though, and whether or not people still send them. I have noticed through the last few years specifically, and I've read some articles of what as I was thinking about this last night for today's topic, I went online this morning and looked at a couple of articles on the decline of Christmas cards and what is kind of causing that and what is behind that. And I can remember many years ago, the art of the Christmas card as a kid, getting those Christmas cards every day during the month of December. It was like a fun little thing where we'd go to the mailbox and, mom and dad would let us open the cards. And back then, even when I was when I was a kid, there weren't these photo cards that we all seem to be doing these days. But I've noticed through the years, and for my family, we always tried to become creative and fun and have some sort of interesting or unique Christmas card each year. And I'll post the link here, but I've posted blogs with the different cards that we've done through the years. But I'm telling you all this, setting this up to get to where I'm at, and the point of today's show, or today's topic, is I didn't do that this year. I didn't send out any Christmas cards. And I have noticed this year, the number of cards that we've gotten coming in has been low. And I don't think it's because people are like, well, they didn't send a card, so we're not sending a card, because I usually send out the cards the last week before Christmas. So most of the cards have already kind of come through by the time I start sending ours out. And I think a big cause of that is social media. And I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I think the tradition, and I do anticipate and plan on getting back on board with the Christmas card next year. This year just felt like time got away from me, and I didn't prioritize and make the time and take the time to do it. So I am curious for you guys, do you send cards? Do you get the same number of cards that you've gotten through the years? Because I will say this, I would say of the people that we send cards, that the Huntsberger family sends Christmas cards to, I would say we are Facebook friends with probably 98% of those people. So when you send a photo card, they see the photos, not every photo, but the whole point, I think 10 years ago, of sending out Christmas cards or the Christmas letters or the greetings at this time of year was because you didn't have that daily connection to people. You didn't know what was going on in their lives. You didn't see their kids' pictures or their milestones or the good times or the bad times. You didn't know. Nowadays, we know everything as long as the people are out there sharing it. And at the very least, we are seeing the pictures and getting those kinds of updates. So I am this is all my opinion, and I'm not tying this in with any kind of belief, and even though it's not a controversial one with Idea Creative Marketing, but this is a disclaimer, this is my opinion here, that social media, like so many other things that has changed, it has changed the way that we celebrate the holidays, and it has changed that tradition. And I have seen that some people, some millennials, some younger people have decided to, instead of spending that money on cards and sending them out, they're taking the money that they would spend and donating it to a good cause, to a charity. So that's something to consider perhaps as well, to donate the money that you would spend on postage and spend on the printing of a card. They're not terribly expensive to do the photo cards. So it wasn't any kind of a financial thing by any means.